So which fragrance is better, this one or this one? Well, obviously this one, because I own it. Hello, back again in Miami, on a chair in the kitchen. Today's fragrant rant is about a concept I like to call ownership bias. Within the Fragcom, aka the fragrance community, there are a lot of amazing resources where you can get some information on fragrances. Whether it's online forums or Facebook groups, or even local meetups at your local wings place. And within these communities, there are a lot of passionate people that collect fragrances, colognes, perfumes. You can learn a ton from these resources and from these people, but ultimately it comes down to your personal preference, which dictates what you get. When you own a fragrance, that means something. That means you're willing to put forth money, your blood, sweat, and tears, into a bottle of fragrance. Whether it's a cheap little fragrance you got as a gift or a $500 niche fragrance from Harrods, it's an investment. And with that investment, you will naturally develop a bit of an ownership bias. Let me explain. Let's say you're on a Facebook fragrance group where you're all discussing cool fragrances, and someone makes a post saying,
"Okay guys, I'm deciding between these two fragrances. They're both pretty similar, but what do you think is the best one?
1 Million Privé or Armani Code Profumo, which happen to be pretty similar fragrances in the same genre." Some people will objectively say, you know what? I feel that Armani Code Profumo is a better fragrance. It lasts a lot longer and performs marvelously. And you'll have the people that will defend 1 Million Privé and say, you know what, it has the DNA of 1 Million, but it's not as bubblegummy and juvenile. It really has a lot of character to it. It's what 1 Million should have been from the beginning. But I can guarantee you that if you only owned one of those fragrances, whether or not you smell the other, you're going to say the one that you have is better. It no longer becomes a discussion on which fragrance is better for you. It's more so, what fragrance do you have? Whether or not you handpicked the one you wanted more, or it's just the one that you got first. Of course, you could argue that the reason you own that fragrance is because you like it more. But that isn't always the case, because no matter how big your fragrance collection is, there's always going to be the chance that someone's going to ask about two fragrances and you'll only have one. So you can't really objectively compare the two, but you're still probably going to boost the one that you have.
Because you're going to defend your fragrance honor.
At the end of the day, having an ownership bias really isn't a big deal at all, but it's just something to be aware of when you're engaging in these fragrance conversations. I guess I'm just encouraging everyone to smell as many things as possible. What I invite you to do is, when you're giving fragrance advice to someone, try your best to have knowledge on all aspects of what they're asking, meaning all the fragrances that they're asking about. But ultimately, the onus is on us to make the final decision to go and get a fragrance. And it should be because you like it more yourself, not because someone else online said it's better. But that's just my opinion. My opinion. This is a video on bias and opinion, so you really don't have to listen to me. But if you had to listen to one thing about opinions, it's to get your own. If you happen to enjoy these fragrant videos, you can check more out right here. And there's some other content on this side if you want to check that out instead. Peace.